That's a problem.
Ready for a hot take?
Yeah, I am ready for it. Yeah, go.
Most dangerous team right now in the AFC is Cincinnati Bengals.
You know,
In the AFC, whole AFC. They're only 4-3, I know, but I think they are the most. You talk about the team that nobody's going to want to play?
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals.
They are getting hot right now. And like I did the Bengals, I did a Bengals Tennessee game probably week 4, Mike, and maybe week 3. And Tennessee throttled them in the game. Just throttled them. But they were still trying to figure out Joe Burrow and his calf. And they're an interesting team because of the way they play. You know, they are so quarterback dominant and so shotgun heavy. And so, hey man, like we operate on time, but when things aren't on time, our quarterback bails us out. Like that's the offensive strategy. And which is crazy because I really like Zach Taylor. I love talking to him. We had a great conversation, and and he was great with his like football acumen, the things they're trying to do. But it is all heavily dependent on Joe Burrow. I don't know that there's another quarterback in the league. I'm sure there is. Maybe Mahomes is this way to a degree, but I don't know that there's anybody that they'd lump more on top of than Joe Burrow. They're like, here you go. Like, take it over and go find a way for us to win. And like normally he's able to do that. And now that his calf is to a point where he can escape and he can get away from trouble and he can extend plays and he can do all those things. They're a dangerous football team, a really dangerous football team. And I will say this defensively, what's the coordinator's name? Lou Anarumo. Lou is a great dude, a really smart coordinator. They've got outstanding players on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, outstanding players. And they're multiple. So they do a lot of different things, and they do a lot of different things well. And they can take all these different concepts. Like they can play cover 2, and they can say, okay, we're going to play cover 2, but defensive ends, you're going to be the flat defenders. And, and we're going to rotate, safeties down, and we're going to play – invert a corner is going to play where the safety normally play, and just a lot of, a lot of different things. They're going to bring blitz pressures, and we're going to bring zone drops, and this that. So we're bringing that corner in a cover 2, but we're dropping the end out there, so we're still only rushing 4. But there's a lot of things, but he has an ability to make it simple for his players, and I always find the best coaches or the best players have an ability to make it simple for themselves, right? You can take a very complex thought or complex play or complex concept, and you can boil it down and make it really simple for yourself. And Lou has a great way about him with making it simple, and I think that defense is probably one of those defenses. Logan Wilson, a couple of those guys, is just vastly underrated. Trey Hendrickson coming off the edge, some of the other guys they have. It's just a vastly probably underrated defense that a lot of people don't know about or haven't really watched.
You're talking about Joe Burrow being one of those eraser-type quarterbacks, right? When it all goes to hell, there's the eraser at quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, you referenced, is normally one of those quarterbacks, but what do you know? Hell froze over.
Yeah.
Charlie Brown finally got a chance to kick the football. The Denver Broncos beat the Chiefs, snapping a 16-game losing streak to Kansas City. Mahomes, 2 interceptions. Chiefs turned the ball over 5 times. Was this a case of the Broncos actually finally showing some spine, or was this just a bad day for Kansas City? Pay no attention to it.
No, I think it was complimentary football at its core. I mean, I just thought about this tweet I saw, and I want to give whoever wrote this tweet credit. I think I retweeted it, but I may not have. But it was because it was just, to me, it was just funny. Here it is right here. It is BHOOKNZ. So whoever that is, at BHOOKNZ. It's like I've always said, no one, and I mean no one, beats the Denver Broncos 17 straight times in a row. So that just made me laugh, right? Like, hey, man, ain't nobody beating us 17
No
straight. 16, okay, but nobody's getting us 17 straight times in a row. Touche to you, whatever you are or whoever you are. But I think there's a formula there. And I thought defensively they played exceptionally well. And it's funny because just a few weeks ago we were like, fire everybody. I was ready to fire everybody.
Yes, everybody.
Like
strip it down to the studs.
Right, fire everybody. They gave up 70 to the Miami Dolphins. And yet here you are holding the Kansas City Chiefs to 9 without a touchdown. I mean, absolutely unbelievable. Flying around on defense, and they've made some defensive changes. They've changed the cornerback. They've changed the nickelback. They've changed some defensive rush guys, some edge present guys. They got Browning back from injury. He's a starter now. So they've changed some guys, the way they're playing their scheme a little bit, and they're flying around, they're making plays. And then against Kansas City, they basically took the ball out of their quarterback's hand, which, you're paying a guy, how much money are you paying him? $230 million bucks? And you're saying, hey, we're only going to let you throw it 19 times? They ran it 40 times. And their starting running back in Williams had 27 carries, but he only averaged 3.1 yards per carry. But I've always said this, and I'm big on this. Attempts are important. Attempts are more important than yards per carry to me. What it does for you in the play action game, what it does for you to wear a defense out, what it does from you from setting a tone of physicality and doing all that stuff, and what that does for your defense, the complementary nature of football. You pound people like that, you possess, you get first downs. One thing on the other sideline, as an offensive coordinator, head coach Andy Reid, you start counting possessions in the second quarter. You're like, oh, shoot. Like, first quarter, we had one possession. And now you're going, well, like, this game may get squeezed from a normal 11, 12 possession game down to a 7 possession game. So now how are we going to score? So you change from a play calling standpoint, it starts messing with your mind, right? Like, now I gotta score every time. So now you get out of balance while they're just pummeling you. You're out of balance, and you're out of your normal play calling sequences. And so that's one of those things that will happen to you in a situation like this. So the Broncos basically say, hey, man, we're going to take our defense off the field. We're going to give you guys an opportunity to make your adjustments, to get your rest so that you can play at a high level, and we're just going to grind it out over here, only letting our quarterback throw it 19 times, Mike. And they had about almost a 10-minute time of possession. Like, that matters. That stuff matters. And there's a formula coming out of Dove Valley, coming out of the Broncos facility.
Now, what about Kansas City? A lot of built-in reasons or excuses that you could use for the way they played. They had just beaten the Broncos 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Maybe the motivation isn't the same, a team that you dominated 16 straight times. Mahomes has the flu. You're going over to Germany next week to play Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. Heck, even right down to Taylor Swift wasn't at the game, and Travis Kelce's numbers drop in half when she's not at the games. I know, but the numbers don't lie. So are these just a bunch of odd things that kind of conspired against Kansas City, or do you come out of this performance, if you're the Chiefs, kind of concerned about some things?
I think for the Chiefs, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think for the Chiefs, you got to have a level of concern based upon all these years that you've dominated offensively. You don't have those same offensive dominant players. Now, Rice, to me, looks like a guy that has something about him. That guy looks like he could become, and he's in that growth process, like he could become a dominant player. But you look at the rest of the receiving core, I mean, Travis Kelce and
But wasn't that last year too?
Yeah, well,
yeah, Juju Smith-Schuster.
Juju Smith-Schuster, it just feels, but does it not feel
it feels
different?
Yeah.
It feels different. And ultimately, you look at them right now, I mean, defense has really been leading the charge for the Kansas City Chiefs. And then if Travis Kelce doesn't have one of them 9 receptions, 120-yard type of game with 2 touchdowns, like
we call that a Taylor game.
A Taylor game?
A Swiftie
if he didn't have a Swiftie game, I mean,
numbers don't lie.
No, Taylor Swift is ruining the Kansas City Chiefs.
Or she's the key to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Either or.
Either or, right?
But, I mean, she can't show up to every game. Is she going to be in Germany? There's a loss. She didn't go to Germany. There's a loss.
Wow, we're already blaming Don't start blaming losses on Taylor Swift. You do not want the Swifties coming after you. You do not.
Come get it to you, Swifties.
No. I know you've had your battles with Philly fan and Jet fan. This is a whole nother level. You don't want that. You don't want this smoke.
Oh, I want the smoke.
You don't want the smoke.
I want the smoke.
You don't want the Swiftie
Taylor
smoke.
Swift cost the Chiefs a win against the Broncos. Her selfishness has cost the Chiefs and will cost them again if she doesn't show up to Germany.
Hey, it's been fun working with you. See ya.
Come on.
You're done.
No, I'm not.
You're done.
No, they don't care.
Done. Mark Schlereth.
They don't. Hey, for everybody involved in the Stinky Truth, we thank you so much. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure you don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. If you want to see more of our videos, you can also be sure to check out our playlist. Let us know exactly what you think in the comments below. We appreciate you guys so much for being a part of that.
Don't forget to follow us on social media to stay up to date on our latest updates. Links are in the description. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.